Hello, you're welcome back to my channel. I'm Ayodeji, PhD student in Glasgow, Scotland. So this is the second part of my first video on what is a PhD. So in this video, I'll be talking about why should you do a PhD, or maybe why you shouldn't do a PhD. So if you'd like to hear more about that, you can continue watching. So yeah, let's get right into it. So why should you even be considering doing a PhD? The first point is you love learning. You like to read, you like to find out new information, you like to make links between different pieces of information. You really love to learn, and that's completely okay, because there's no point doing what you don't want to do in this life. And if you're like me and you just like finding out new information, you like digging deep into the literature, you just like to read, then if you want to do a PhD, so just go for it, especially because during a PhD you're going to read a lot. So if you don't like to read, you might get really frustrated, because you always need to keep up to date with the literature, find out what other people have done before you, and even when you're writing up, you're analyzing data, you need to really continue to read. So if that sounds like you, why don't you go for it? Number two, you should do a PhD if you are not just obsessed with taking up a title. You're not just obsessed with people calling you doctor. I mean, the other things you can do, you want to be called doctor, go and do a PhD or do a medical degree or something else. But don't just come into a PhD because you want to get that title, and even any other degree. But basically for a PhD, you shouldn't come into it thinking, oh, I just want to get a title. But yeah, it's not bad also if there are other reasons why you want to do a PhD, which are definitely valid, as long as they're linked to your life goals, your professional goals. And then the doctor title is also your motivation. So you're thinking, oh, let me stick with this because at the end I'm going to be called Dr. So-and-so. So that's good if that's a kind of motivation to help you keep going, but that should not be your reason. And why I'm saying that is because it's not because it's bad to aspire to have a title. I mean, do you? But a PhD is no small feat, and you can't afford to give 3 to 4 to 5 to 6 years of your life to pursue one degree just to get a title if you're not ready to go through that journey. And that links into point number 3. You should do a PhD if you don't mind 3 to 4 years in isolation. So not isolation like the way we all know isolation now, about with COVID and all of that, or even though that is part of the reality. You might be by yourself in a room or in the lab or somewhere doing your research by yourself. But really, you should do a PhD if you do not mind working at something consistently, focusing all your thoughts, all your energies on this particular research area that you have chosen for a number of years. You don't mind working on that same thing for a certain number of years. So although you might, for some people, for like me for example, you might have a research group, you might have a lab group and all of that you're working with, at the end of the day everybody's project is going to be different, and to be a really lonely journey. Yes, you have your supervisors guiding you and all of that, but because you're training to be an independent researcher, you're training to make some decisions by yourself, and you really need to make those decisions by yourself when it comes to research. It's going to be a really lonely journey, because sometimes you're going to doubt yourself. You just want to quit. I mean, you might think of quitting at least 5 times in a month or in a week. So are you ready to go through that kind of like pain? I mean, let me put it mildly. Well, it's not pain. As long as it's something that you really want to do, you're really interested in that area, you should do a PhD. And that will also link to my point number 4. You should do a PhD if you have identified an area that you're really interested in. Key point there, interested in. So just because you decided now you want to do a PhD and you see a topic, but you know you absolutely have no interest in that topic, but oh, it looks nice, oh, there's some funding attached, don't go for it if you're not interested in it. Because when it gets tough, and the PhD gets tough from the get-go, what is going to keep you going is your interest in that topic, your motivation to want to research in that area, add to the body of knowledge, and just your love for learning. That's what's going to keep you going. You should do a PhD if you want to develop advanced skills, transferable skills that are not just applicable within academia, but even outside academia. So you can go into consulting roles, you can work in non-governmental organizations. You can work with, for example, if you're in the healthcare field, you can get roles in international organizations like the WHO and all of that. So what a PhD does, it gives you highly specialized skills that are not just applicable within academia, even within your topic area, because you're not just going to even be researching your topic. You're going to be using different methodologies, or learning about so many things that you can apply to so many areas. That is part of the beauty of it, and it's one of the things that motivate a lot of people to continue developing a very strong skill set and developing expertise in a particular area. So if those points apply to you, you should go for it. But obviously, just make sure you're doing it for the right reasons, and that those reasons are important to you. So it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks about your decision to go back to school for another so number of years. As long as it's what you want to really do, just go for it. You don't need anybody's permission to do it, but just be prepared to know that, okay, this is what it's going to take for me to get to this destination. And also make sure that you're continuing to be clear on what your long-term goals are for your career, so that you're making sure that every decision that you take along the way during your PhD journey and after is linked to your long-term goal. So yep, that's it. So if you like some of the ideas that I shared in this video, you can let me know in the comments, and let me know if you have any questions, or if there's something that I have not touched on that you really want to know about, and I would be keeping an eye on the comments and look forward to hearing from you. And of course, you can give this video a thumbs up if you like it, and subscribe to my channel so that you are notified when I upload the next video. Thank you very much for watching. Bye.